Hi, I'm Troy.
I'm Brittany.
And we're going to be doing a review of some equipment and some stretches you can do for your hips. First, we're going to start with a review of equipment. It's going to be wrist straps. I got two pieces of gear. First, I'm going to start out with, I've done this in another video, but that video is lost forever, so I'm going to have to do another review. Forever. So this is a wrist strap you use for carrying a ton of weight that your forearms just normally can't hold itself. Some people have more grip strength than others. I have baby strength as far as forearms. And so I need straps like these. Let me get a close up. So here's the straps. Cost about, I don't know, $5, $6. You can get them on Amazon. You can go to Walmart, you can buy these. They're very inexpensive and they can produce a lot of results for you. All you do is you place it around your wrist like so. Very simple. You wrap this around the barbell or a dumbbell, whichever you prefer, whatever you're moving, some kind of weight that you're unable to actually grip and maintain, because your back is 10 times stronger. Well, it's a lot stronger than your forearm. So for people who have really great grip strength that are doing deadlifts, they can pull a lot of weight. Okay, here we go. Here we got an example. Okay. All right, so we have the kettlebell here that Brittany brought up. So I'm going to demonstrate how you basically do how you just strap it on basically. Some people are unaware that this equipment even exists and can help you a lot with your back gain. So here we go. So here, like this, as you have the wrist strap on, you want to wrap it around on the opposite side of where the bar is away from your body. So you don't want it closest to you. You don't wrap it this way. It's a big negative. It's going to come with, it's going to just unwrap on you as you're pulling up. So you want it the other way. You want to wrap it around the other way. So remember, the bar or the dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever it is, make sure it's on the outside of where you're placing your hand. Okay, so you wrap this around until you get it all the way around, tighten it up, and that's literally all it is. So now, this is only 25 pounds. I don't need a wrist strap for this, but this is just a demonstration for when you're carrying a lot of weight on A here, so you can have this back. And all it's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to pull a lot of weight compared to what you could normally do without a wrist strap. So this is a very inexpensive tool you can use to help you do rack pulls, deadlifts, any pull movements that you can think of. I would highly recommend these. But I also consider doing some sort of exercises that also benefit your grip strength. Maybe some reverse curls where you keep your arms on the bench and you just do some wrist curls with some sort of weight, some resistance, some weight bands or resistance bands. You can utilize those. So this is a great tool. I highly recommend this. I use this on a daily basis, well, a weekly basis. I hit back once or twice a week, so I'd like to use these. The other piece of gear I like to hit is, it's another wrist strap, but it's for support, and it's mainly for all my pushing movements. So I only really typically use this for a chest day. So all this does, it just stabilizes the wrist, prevent you from getting any, well, not preventing, but it's going to help you to prevent, you know, getting in a complete extension or just overextending your wrist or over flexing your wrist. It's just going to try to keep it stable. So when you're doing a push movement with a bench, with a barbell or dumbbell, whatever you're using, you want to keep your wrist right here as straight as possible. You don't want it bent like this. You don't want it bent like this. And and if you have a barbell, you're not going to really get the ulnar deviation or the radial deviation if you're holding a barbell. Now you can get those if you're holding a dumbbell, and I don't know anyone who would use a kettlebell for a push movement while you're on your back, but you never know. There's CrossFitters out there. Anyways, so all you're going to do is there's a little. This is also a $5, $6 piece of equipment. It's very inexpensive. There's a thumb strap you put your thumb through, obviously, and all you're going to do is wrap it around. You don't want to wrap it around until it cuts off circulation, but you do want it tight enough to where you have enough support so you don't hurt your wrists. I always use these whenever I go heavy on any kind of press movements. It's a great tool. Granted, you are still going to, for me, I try to always focus on when I'm doing a push movement, I want to keep my wrist as straight as possible. I know that it does bend a little bit. I do get a little bit of flexion. I do get a little bit of extension when I'm doing a barbell. When I'm on the bench, straight bar bench, it does bend a little bit, but this does help me out. Just even if it's a little bit, it's worth the $5-6 that you put into this, because your wrists are going to thank you later in life. That's about all there really is for wrist strap. There's nothing else you can use this for. Other than that, take care of your body and utilize these tools that are handy and keep your body in shape. The hips.
All right. So we don't have all the equipment here to demonstrate how to take care of the hips, but basically these are like our axles. If one hip gets out of alignment from the other hip, it throws everything off. Well, a lot of things. So basically, our hips, if we get immobility from lack of evenness and flexibility or strength from one side of the body to the other, a lot of times it originates from the hips, and one hip may get pulled slightly forward, maybe more so backwards or more back than the other hip, or up or down. And this puts stress on the opposite knee or the opposite ankle, or it throws the spine out of alignment and causes back pain. So a few things you can do to prevent that is to keep the muscles surrounding the hips, the hip flexor muscles, the quads, the hamstrings, and the abductors, these muscles, and the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, flexible and of equal strength. So the leg extension machine, where you sit down and extend one leg.
You're gonna have so put your knee back up.
Yeah.
So all you're gonna do is you're gonna have a seat, if you can see in the camera. You're sitting down on the machine and you're gonna have it's just a bar that goes across your shin. That's all it is. So
instead of doing both legs at the same time, because most of the machines you can do both legs at the same time, but I would suggest doing one leg at a time, knee extension, back down. Make sure you can do, I would start with what you presume to be your weakest leg. Do about 10 reps, full extension, and then match same amount of reps, same weight for the stronger leg. And the goal here is to keep the hamstrings more equal in strength. Same thing with the leg curls. Instead of curling both legs at the same time, curl one leg at a time. Start with what you presume to be the weakest leg, and then match the same reps, same amount of weight with the other leg, so that way you can get some evenness in your hamstrings, and your quads. And then same thing for the outer leg muscles, the abductors, and the inner leg thigh muscles, the adductors. You can use the machine to do that, or you could do side planks with the under leg. I have some examples for that on that other video.
can you also utilize machines? Can you also utilize the cable machine?
You could put your ankle in a cable and bring your leg in and then outward. There's also a machine called the adductor and the abductor machine you can utilize to strengthen the adductors and the abductors.
So what do you prefer? Because I know we talked about this earlier and I'd like to share the information with these guys. What do you prefer to use for using the cable machine, or do you prefer using the adductor machine?
I prefer a mix based on, I've seen mixed reviews on different machines. Some reviews kind of bash the adductor and the abductor machine. However, with the cables, you're getting a lot of work in the leg that you're stabilizing with. So if you're doing adductors, if you have your say I have my left leg strapped into a cable and I'm bringing it across this way, my right leg is going to get a lot of work just holding me in position while I'm bringing the weight across. So I'm not really isolating a lot. So if I have some injuries going on in the adductors or the abductors, if I can sit down in a machine and isolate those muscles, I may benefit more than if I had to stabilize the whole time with every muscle in my body. So there are some benefits to both. I wouldn't say go
One or the other.
super heavy on a machine, because they're more so, I look at them as like
300
rehab. It's impressive, but
some crazy
not that concerned with the adductors. But that in addition to flexibility, and there are several stretches. I'm in jeans shorts, I'm not going to demonstrate all of those, but if you look up on our other video, the donkey complex, to like to call it. That's a good warm up.
And it's only what, like a minute long, so it's very
It's
short.
fast,
So
yeah.
it's not very long. Just check the video. You can see Brittany do the complete donkey complex, and just if you need to pause it, I mean, play it over and over. That's why we're making YouTube videos, so you can do that.
Yeah,
Is that everything for the hips?
pretty much.
Pretty much.
They're
Pretty
just-
simple, guys.
Very
Okay, so that's 2 pieces of equipment and hip mobility exercise that you can do. So you have the wrist stabilizing wrist strap, and you also have the wrist strap to help you pull heavier weight. And then you have the
hip exercises.
the hip exercise.
Question. With the wrist straps,
Yeah.
would those be beneficial for front squats?
Yes, it can be actually. But the thing is, well, for me, okay, so I don't know about you folks, but for me, I don't have the mobility because my guns are so big. No. Some people can do when they do front squats. Never mind my big birthmark here. But so people can, so you'll have the barbell and they're trying to do front squats. Okay, so they'll literally try to put the bar on their chest and they'll bring their arms all the way back and basically rest their tip of the fingers on the bar and even be able to grip it. For me, I just can't do it. My muscles are just not allowing me to do that. So I literally have to cross. So I have the bar across my chest, and I'll just place it, my palms on top of the bar, and then do a front squat that way. The issue I have with this is one shoulder is going to be a little bit further down than the other. So the bar does slide a little bit, and if you're doing heavier weight, I don't suggest doing that. So I suggest doing mobility exercises, range of motions to try to stretch out your muscles the best you can. For me, that's what I'm working with. I don't do too heavy on front squats because of that issue, so that's what I work with.
So in my case, I do not have the big bicep blocking, disabling me from holding the bar like this, but I have very loose wrists, so the bar tends to make my wrist hyperextend way back. And when you have, for me it's probably 135, but when you have that much weight on your wrist, it does put strain on the wrist. So I'm guessing potentially like the wrist straps could support my wrist.
Possibly, I've never used it to be honest. I think this angle is a little bit better.
Hyperextend a good bit.
Yeah, it can be. I think that's why I like this. But like I said, I don't like how the bar kind of slips on my left shoulder because this is exactly how I place it, and I don't like. It's just it can cause damage on me later.
A good way to increase that mobility, maybe I should demonstrate, is to foam roll under your arms, your lats up into your underarm and your triceps, and it breaks a lot of the tightness loose so that you can do this.
This is
Plus,
something-
it's easier transitions.
No, yeah, well, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not gonna do that after I.
So we'll cover that in a different video.
Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment down in the comment section below. Also check out our blog. Let me get my face in here. Do a little last spread. Please check out our blog as well. It's linked in our profile within our YouTube, and vice versa. If you're looking through our blog, you can check out our YouTube that way. And that's it.
Thank you for watching.